Hi guys, 732 Review Crew back. I am Mikey.
I'm Beef.
And I'm Mike.
And we're here with Season 1, Episode 3 of Westworld. Now, first we want to say thank you to all of our fans who did show up and supported us through Westworld, and the new fans as well. Thank you so much. It's been a fun ride these first two episodes, and we really can't wait to see what happens, honestly. Now, do you remember what happened last episode?
Things are starting to go bad.
The last two episodes. Yeah. There's a bug in the system. There's some hosts that are breaking down. But there's also a mysterious man in black. Thank you for telling me that's what we should refer to him as.
Man in Black is his name.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the reference.
In case Mike didn't.
Which means we're never going to find out his name.
Unless we probably will. And I'm ready to find out his name. Maybe we'll tell us this episode.
3, 2,
1. And thank you for joining us. That was a weird start.
I used to read this story to my son at night. I thought you might enjoy it.
Alice in Wonderland. Whoa!
Down the rabbit hole through the looking glass?
That's called foreshadowing.
Dear, dear. How queer everything is today. And yesterday things went on just as usual. I wonder if I've been changed in the night.
Huh.
Like the girl.
Does that passage make you think of anything?
And it's like the other books we've read. It's about change.
People like to read about the things that they want the most and experience the least. Why did you ask me about my son?
We've been talking for some duration and I haven't asked you a personal question.
Okay.
Was I the same when I got up this morning? I almost think I can remember feeling a little different. Who in the world am I?
You know how they say you shouldn't name a pet if you don't want to keep it? Yeah, we're way past that. Oh yeah, she did dig it up.
Just checking it's still there.
Do you remember?
Okay. It's gone?
William? This guy's got? Yeah.
Liam McPoyle.
You really ought to talk to someone about your poster, Horace. That likeness is a crime in itself.
I forgot to update that.
Oh, you're right. That's so smart.
Classic saloon.
Scared me a little bit.
Oh.
Ooh!
Oh. Oh.
Don't know, man, shoot! Let's go.
No. Come on. Come on, William. The music. It does not hurt him. So he's just gonna
did it.
No.
You're juicy as a freshwater clam.
Ugh. See? Let's go.
He is not having fun.
You got grip.
Who the fuck
I'm
is that?
riding out tonight,
Isn't that his buddy?
No.
looking for desperados.
That's his friend.
Yeah. Another man in black?
Dude's dressed like a dandy.
He's dressed like the villain.
shit!
Thought you said we couldn't get shot. We can't get killed. It won't be much of a game if they can't shoot back.
Huh.
So they can hurt the guests.
No, it was more like a BB gun.
Painful.
It seems painful.
Slim.
Slim Miller.
Well, you've been preaching nonstop about all the narratives in the park, but all you've done since we've arrived is fuck and drink. So
JV shit.
let's stay here. I want a little adventure.
Now he's feeling it.
Wait, you know what they said? He said that people want to read about what they experience the least but crave the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's like kind of what this Westworld is.
Yeah.
Good job.
As of this morning, Ford's carved out a huge swath of the park for whatever storyline he's cooking up and thrown half of the existing storylines into disarray. Get your house in order, Bernard. And if there is a problem, I strongly suggest you tell me.
You didn't report the incident?
Unit self-corrected within the acceptable window.
Right. You self-corrected a fucking milk bottle into your skull.
Who said that? Who's saying that?
Do you see that?
Yeah, they deserved it.
He's talking to someone.
Sons of bitches.
He carries on practically an entire conversation.
I need more milk, Arnold.
Who's Arnold? I pulled the narrative logs. All 6 of these hosts were part of storylines over the years in which they killed Walter. It's like he was holding a grudge. It's a stray. QA needs a tag team to go track it.
Go. Handle the stray. Do something that's actually in your job description.
It's weird how some of them are naked in the interview, but Dolores kept her clothes on with him.
Because he views her as a person and not a robot.
You know, if you wanted to play cowboy, you could have just used your employee discount.
The only thing stopping the host from hacking us to pieces is one line of your code. No offense, but I sleep with this.
I bet you do.
He's like, yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fair. Like, the code has not been consistent lately. Bang, bang, bang. Ooh, bang. Ooh, ooh. Oh, that's her.
Not much of a rind on you. I'll give you a discount.
Mind waiting on that drink a bit?
That rind line is like, you know that he thought he was cooking when he put that one in.
This is a scripted event.
We've known that.
Well, no, because
you're right. It's milk.
Mind me. Just trying to look chivalrous.
Well, I mean, there's other people who have interacted with her instead.
You know, if I could stay right here with you, I would.
What if I don't want to stay here? Just sometimes I feel like the world out there is calling me. Whispering there's something more.
You know, there is a place I heard about down south, where the mountains meet the sea. They say the water's so pure there, it'll wash the past clean off you.
Poetic.
And you can start again.
I'd like to go there with you.
Well, someday I'll take you.
Someday. Someday sounds a lot like the thing people say when they actually mean never.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
Let's not go someday, Teddy.
Yeah, this isn't what we saw in the first episode.
No.
No, they're doing.
She's different.
Yeah.
She knows everything that's happening.
I was gonna say she's definitely behaving more like a guest.
Father wouldn't let him roam this close to dark.
Oh, here we go.
Back to it.
How many times is Teddy gonna die? There he goes, dying again.
They're filling the eye with white.
Yeah, that just looked a little bit like something else.
The eyes are knit.
That's crazy.
Coward dies 1,000 deaths. The valiant taste of death but one. Of course, Shakespeare never met a man quite like you, Teddy. You've died at least 1,000 times. And yet it doesn't dull your courage.
There's a girl, Dolores. Someday soon, we'll have the life we've both been dreaming of.
Keep saying it.
You never will. Your job is not to protect Dolores, it's to keep her here, to ensure that the guests find her if they want to best the stalwart gunslinger and have their way with this girl.
Oh.
Tell me,
That's
it
rough.
never occurred to you to run off with her?
I got some reckoning to do before I can be with her.
Ah, yes, your mysterious backstory. Do you know why it is a mystery, Teddy? Because we never actually bothered to give you one, just a formless guilt you will never atone for. But perhaps it is time you had a worthy story of origin. It starts in a time of war.
Is he gonna
World
start
in
it?
flame with a villain called Wyatt. Do you remember now, Teddy?
Yeah, of course I remember Wyatt. You look upon the face of true evil, you ain't liable to forget. He claimed he could hear the voice of God.
I feel like the storyline's gonna instigate whatever uprising we're gonna find out about.
I think it's the purpose of it, right?
My friend here is new to town. Figured the rancher's daughter would be a nice way to kick things
visitors?
off.
I'm sorry. I have to get home. My father will be expecting me.
We won't be long.
The lady doesn't appear interested.
Try it. You might get the draw on me, you might not, but I'd say your odds ain't looking good.
Told you I wanted something easy.
Why are they so greasy?
Are they role playing? Teach her to shoot. Yes.
This is a bad idea, Teddy.
Now squeeze.
Can she not shoot guns?
I can't.
She's not allowed to like defend herself or anything.
Yeah.
Teddy, we got another bounty.
I think this may be the man you've been looking for quite some time.
Man in Black?
Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Oh, it's a new story.
Why would he know about the Man in Black?
Word is, Flood here is the only man ever come up against and lived to tell the tale.
Teddy Flood?
There's a lot of allusions to water.
Water is the element of change.
Promise me you'll come back.
I promise.
No, guys, I think Teddy has death flags.
Me personally, I think it's the fact that he's died every other time.
Spend more time on your back than a hooker in heat. Now pick up that fucking axe and go chop us.
Oh, what?
So,
More time in your back than hooker.
Yeah, no, I heard the words.
Yeah.
Looks like these guys got
Pause
caught
them.
in a loop. Host who went missing is the woodcutter. Looks like the rest of them got stuck here waiting for supper.
You guys can't program more than one of these idiots to make a fire?
We could, but thanks to a new policy from your boss, only one of them is authorized to handle the axe. The rest of them can't even touch it.
Huh.
Weapons privileges need to be doled out selectively.
There we go. Okay. Is that a turtle?
Yeah, turtle shell. Bear. I'd pay money for that bear. He just stole a turtle shell.
I wasn't always a bounty hunter. I did a stint in the army down near Escalante. Wyatt was my sergeant.
Oh.
Makes
My
sense.
friend. Wyatt disappeared while out on maneuvers. He came back with some strange ideas. He claimed this land didn't belong to the old natives or the new settlers. That it belonged to something that had yet to come.
Oh. My God.
Wonder how many guests are like in this party.
Dude, the set design, crazy.
Yeah, wow.
If ever the devil walked the earth.
He's not a man, but he's not a devil either. Devil can't be killed. That's exactly what I aim to do to Wyatt.
Okay, that was kind of heat.
Allusion to the Man in Black.
Ambush. Oh, shit.
I didn't sign up for this crazy shit.
Another one.
All right, so 2.
Take the gun.
I told you we should have done the riverboat thing.
Sheriff, only chance you have is I draw their fire. Lead them up into the hills. You can make it back to town. Try and find help.
Hell no.
I'll take him
You
back.
get shot.
You coming?
I'm not backing out now.
You wait till I lead them to the tree line. You make a run for it.
Woo! Woo! Come on, I want to see who he's killing. Oh, they're up top. Holy shit.
Yeah, they have a huge advantage.
The muzzle flashes. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Markings on its shell. Look like stars. Orion, right?
Huh.
What are you, Gallifreyan?
Maybe it's in my backstory.
That was quality.
The dialogue writing in this is
These,
great.
yeah, those two specifically have great chemistry.
Why is this host covered?
I just...
Perhaps you didn't want him to feel cold. Doesn't get cold. Doesn't feel ashamed. Doesn't feel a solitary thing that we haven't told it to.
I'm so
Because he didn't
confused.
want the hair to fall on him.
What hair?
He was shaving his head.
Was he?
Yeah, he had a clipper in his hand.
They were talking to the same imaginary person. Someone named Arnold?
With due respect, sir, I'm not sure you've told me the entire truth about this situation.
For 3 years, we lived here in the park. Myself, a team of engineers, and my partner.
Arnold.
My business partners were more than happy to scrub him from the records. His name was Arnold.
Oh.
So is that the Man in Black?
He wasn't interested in the appearance of intellect, of wit. He wanted the real thing. He wanted to create consciousness.
Nothing bad has ever happened from that.
I wonder if Terminator exists in this universe.
The bicameral mind.
The idea that primitive man believed his thoughts to be the voice of the gods.
See, Arnold built a version of their cognition in which the hosts heard their programming as an inner
Oh, that's her
monologue,
dad.
with the hopes that in time their own voice would take over. But Arnold hadn't considered two things. One, that in this space, the last thing you want the hosts to be is conscious. And two, the other group who considered their thoughts to be the voices of the gods. But for all his brilliance, I don't think Arnold understood what this place was going to be. You see, the guests enjoyed power. They cannot indulge it in the outside world, so they come here. And as for the hosts, the least we can do is make them forget. Well, he died. Here in the park.
From one of his things.
His search for consciousness consumed him totally. He saw something that wasn't there. We called it an accident, but I knew Arnold. He was very, very careful.
He stared into the abyss.
Just don't forget, the hosts are not real. You mustn't make Arnold's mistake.
You're always so busy.
Is that Jessica from Suits?
Now?
Remember how he used to sleep? Like he was doing kung fu in his dreams?
Doesn't she watch his wife in Firefly too?
A few bruises. It's the best worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever wish you could forget?
He looks the same 20 years.
Why the hell would he carve Orion?
You're the ones who programmed him.
He wasn't programmed to give a shit about stars.
Maybe he went moon mad.
Yeah, sneak with that flashlight
I was
on.
about to say, shut that flashlight off, please.
Stop! Over here!
Oh wow, bloody his nails fell off.
Yeah, he looks crazy.
Wise men could be anywhere. You see or hear anything, don't hesitate. Shoot and don't stop shooting.
Wonder if the parties are about to.
Wait, but a guest can shoot the scientist inside.
That's the scariest roar.
All right. Oh!
Did you just get cultist stabbed?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh my fucking god!
Too real, bro.
Back to back, let's go.
Bro.
Let's go.
Bro.
Just keep shooting.
Her reaction was just so good.
Take this and go. Now, go! I'll hold him off as long as I can.
Oh, this poor man.
Are they?
What? No!
It's policy. We just need to control it.
They're gonna chop his head off and bring it back?
We found the stray up here, and I don't think it got here by accident. It's as if he got an idea in his head, one that we never programmed. What if he's like the others? Get back to me, Bernard.
She in his basement?
Wait, is this a second copy of her? Cause shouldn't she be in the world right now?
Bring yourself back online.
I think
Maybe.
it's nighttime. Maybe.
I need to decide what to do with you. I think I made a mistake. I was being selfish, but I think it would be better if I restored you to the way you were before.
Is there something wrong with me?
No. Imagine there are two versions of yourself. One that feels these things and asks these questions, and one that's safe. Which would you rather be?
Whew. Give me an autonomy.
There aren't two versions of me. There's only one. And I think when I discover who I am, I'll be free.
Okay.
Analysis. What prompted that response?
I don't know.
Oh no.
Ruh-roh. Come on, Bernard. That's like your giant red flag.
Have I done something wrong?
Arnold.
Made a mistake?
Man's ignoring every red flag.
Yeah.
Evolution forged the entirety of sentient life on this planet using only one tool. Mistake. Appears you're in good company.
Do you still want to change me back?
No, Dolores.
Oh, well.
Let's see where this path leads.
Oh, jeez. So how's she getting to his apartment?
That's actually a
Good question.
I just, like, is there a hatch? Like, what?
The rock, and she's kind of.
They said that they've been living here, so maybe this is like.
Well, no, he's on base. Like,
That's what I'm saying,
Under
yeah.
Westworld or whatever, but, like.
We're gonna see maybe through. Her.
I am taking her for personal tests.
I guess so.
Oh, it's the party.
It's the sheriff.
Wise men set a trap for us. Sheriff stay behind to fight him off.
Are you gonna ride back up into the hills to look for him?
I sent for the Rangers.
Texas Rangers, let's go.
If there is a merciful God, those men are dead already.
Do it. Take the horse.
She can't shoot a gun.
All alone after Sunday.
Oh.
She's gonna grab his gun. Where'd she get that? I guess it says.
Pull it. Go on, please
If
work.
she pulls it, it's over.
She doesn't have weapons privileges.
Nope, she doesn't.
Uh-oh.
Kill him.
Is that
It's over.
Arnold's voice?
Yeah. That had to have been. He overrode her and gave her the privileges.
Kill him.
Oh no, is she gonna remember getting shot?
Get back here.
She just did.
Oh my god.
Oh, just like that.
She's remembering. Like,
No, I got that.
yeah.
Just like fucking Walter.
I feel like bad things are about to happen. I got a funny feeling.
Okay, maybe they are gonna cut his head off.
Even approve you to carry that thing?
Oh. Ooh.
That's meaty sounding.
Ooh.
That was one sharp saw.
Oh. And he has. Oh, and he has weapons privileges.
Oh, he's climbing out. Drop the tablet.
No way.
What the fuck?
If the head's too damaged, maybe they can't.
He remembered too much.
40K a day to jerk off alone in the woods playing White Hat.
40K a day?
Did you hear that? Thank fuck. Anything to relieve the
What
boredom.
the fuck?
Not that bad. This is for the ultra wealthy. Ah, okay.
Care to share with the class?
In a second.
That's why he's in the show. Because he's not like everybody else, just like she's not like everybody else. That's that.
Oh, so he's the
And
one.
now they've met, and there you go.
Okay, okay. Well, they kind of met on and off a little bit.
Right.
before,
But now they're both at the want to change intersection.
So got a lot of good notes from this episode because this was a crazy good episode too. They're all good episodes so far. We learned quite a bit in this episode though about the origins of the hosts, kind of.
Dude, Bernard went from one of my favorite characters to my short list of I'm going to hate you, aren't I? Ford literally was like, hey, don't do this because the last guy who did died and it was bad time. And he's like, I'm going to go do that.
Well, and it feels like Arnold was obsessed with making them perfect humans.
Arnold wanted to make them that's why Ford talked about the God complex in a previous episode.
Yeah.
He's like, that's where that's like what's left. And he's like that, but then it's also why he told that guy to take the robe off of the person whose head he was shaving, I guess, because he's like, they're not people. Do not treat them like people.
I'm pretty sure that he was shaving that guy's head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, the bald guy with the black.
Mike has a good point though, because the big thing right now Ford is trying to dehumanize the hosts to the work employees because they're so just, used to the fact that they look like humans, they might as well be humans. You need to mentally separate yourself that these are robots that do not have, intelligence in the way we think they do. They're obviously smart enough to be able to respond impromptu, like off script. But 9 out of 10 things they do has to be scripted, otherwise they don't function correctly. It seems like, and obviously that's starting to break because they're all having memories, which I think the past memories of all their lives in the past days are starting to leak through their programming and cause them to have basically consciousness, for lack of better words, because they've lived thousands of days potentially. So they have thousands of days worth of data to analyze and create a personality and stuff off of, which is crazy because that's how kind of humanity works. Just experience allows you to create persona. And then from there you become a person because of your life experiences. So is this show trying to basically say to us that experiences are what makes somebody human, and not just, looking like a human, but living day to day, having these experiences, interacting with each other, and then being able to, you know, function autonomously off of these experiences? Because it no longer becomes, scripted if they're able to respond off script to certain events, and then you have that times 1,000, and now all of a sudden they know how to respond to thousands of off script events, which is just like a human with consciousness.
I mean, we could have a very, very long discussion about what is a human, but I mean, I think, yeah, they're kind of going with the idea that the experiences and what you've taken away from it is what essentially memories are, and that is a very important part, because there is a theory of thought that every day you wake up, you're a different person, and you're just basing it off of your previous memories.
And I mean, there was so many great analogies and stuff in this, and even just great references. One of them being Alice in Wonderland was brought up, was amazing reference, especially because it's like going through the rabbit hole. Especially with what's happening to Dolores. She's Alice going through the hole, and it's almost mirrored with her outfit kind of too. Her the blue dress that she wears.
I didn't even catch that.
That's great. And I think you were saying stuff too during the episode about the fact that it was Alice in Wonderland, which was great.
Yeah, and I mean, her dress is also blue, like
she had the hair.
Like water.
Like water too, and you keep bringing up water. That the fact that there's a lot of people named.
I mean, I don't think it's like, I'm not like joking. Like
I see what you're saying.
It's also like a very precious resource in an area that looks like that.
You're drawing patterns, and like I see them. I just don't know where they're relevant.
It's like question marks.
What do you mean? Because there's water is, like you said, the symbol of change.
Right.
Water's when you're covered, when a character goes into water or goes underwater or is surrounded by water, that's an allusion to a baptism.
Right.
Which is a change of person.
Okay.
So like her dress.
No, I got it.
So you're just saying okay. So I don't know if I'm reaching. It could be a long shot. I think.
Hey man, I thought the horses got shrunk down.
Dude, his last name is Flood. His last name's Flood.
Petty Flood.
Like
I kind of that's
a great name.
I don't love the name.
I have a friend.
But that's what I'm saying. Like Flood and Ford.
I know two people with the last name Flood, so that's not like an issue for me.
It's not an issue. It's just the names
just doesn't roll off the tongue nicely.
The
Teddy
names
Flood.
are chosen like
it's a singer's name.
Theodore Flood.
I'm sorry, Beef.
The names seem like they're chosen pretty deliberately.
Or they might be putting like a name randomizer and just like, yeah, that guy's Dolores. That lady's Dolores.
Nah, dude, they're a megacore. They definitely spend money figuring out the right name for each person.
You know what? I imagine the person who created them and their personalities probably has it in their mind when they're doing so.
Before we derail further,
Yes.
do you think Arnold is the Arnold that everyone's hearing is just like fragments of his programming, or do you think that he didn't die? He turned into AI.
You think he like put his consciousness into the system?
Maybe
like a Matrix style.
Do you know what I also saw?
Maybe
that fly that Dolores squished and was that fly that went on the sheriff's face that made him have the seizure was the same fly who flew onto the wooden carvings in the tent.
I don't know if it's the same fly.
Well,
per
it's
se,
a fly,
but
Let's
it's
just say
it's a type of.
But it's more of a reference to the fact that there's unscripted events, and the creators maybe didn't think to put a response to a fly in a situation, or maybe Arnold did think to put.
I think it's the bug.
I did like that coding joke where it's like, they all got stuck because the woodcutter left. No one could cut the wood. They've been here for 8 days.
Yeah,
I was like, that sounds right.
Funny.
And one line of code broke, and the whole program starts.
It's like when you're doing a quest in an MMO or something, and the one character is missing, so you can't do it. And you're like, you have to wait for the patch update.
You just turn in. Please.
You know the interesting thing though that I also saw, like, one, is it just me or did that carving look kind of like it? Unlike Orion, but did it look like the maze at all?
So I know what you're saying, and I think it. So it was a very crude carving on the bottom of a turtle shell.
They were all the same,
right?
There was one on the bear too.
It did look like Orion, but it didn't have like, at least that I could see in clear detail, the belt. But like it is Orion the hunter who is just shooting a bow.
Yeah.
So that's the whole constellation. We don't see it because
which is
in Jersey. We don't have stars anymore.
I also found it. I wonder if it's intentional, but maybe I could be reading too deep into it. That guy had weapon privileges, the woodcutter.
Right.
He was getting his neck cut, knocked back
security guy.
Stab. and didn't go for that weapon, the cutting weapon, immediately. Climbed up, walked towards the other scientist, grabbed the rock, and then crushed his own head. Like, that sequence of events just seems very strange.
I think there's an explanation for it pretty well. First explanation is he didn't grab the weapon because, first off, he did not want to harm either of the humans. It's still in his code that he cannot harm humans.
Yeah.
Second off, the main thing he realizes too is that he probably became cognizant just like she has in a certain way, or maybe he was just being tormented by visions due to the cognizance, which allows him maybe to see his past, what's happening. So he knows that, maybe as a robot, he knows that in order to destroy himself, because I think maybe realized or something that he can't cut his own head off because it's easy to fix the chip in the brain. He needed to destroy it by crushing it.
Yeah, I mean, not for nothing, but like if you were a host and became sentient, like this is hell. Like this literally, this is every type of hell you could describe. Like you're going to suffer torment every single day, and you're going to suffer the same thing.
Sure.
You're rolling a boulder up a hill, and your liver's getting eaten by
Sisyphus must be happy.
Yeah. So the one thing
one must imagine
Sisyphus smiling.
So a few things I want to just touch on quick too. The gun in the drawer was interesting because it looked like she put the gun in that drawer, and when she did do that, it looked like it almost disappeared from existence. Was that her just that referencing the fact is that if they're not programmed to acknowledge something, maybe they don't know it exists, kind of, and it was breaking between her programming and her cognizance, her being Dolores. When she found that gun, put it in the drawer, and then she put the thing on top of it without, when it wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like when her dad showed her a photo, and she's like, I don't see anything,
Well,
Daddy.
She remembered when her original dad, Abernathy, got shot. And she also, when the guy said, hey, get back here, and shot, she thought that there was a hole in her stomach. She was recalling past... She was recalling past memories, I believe. The gun that you're talking about, we saw her over 2 nights that we saw. She went out and dug up the gun. It's possible that in another day she kept the gun and put it back in, and in that day that she was in, she didn't.
Yeah.
Or do you think she was smart enough to know that she was going to be put into that situation inside the barn, so she moved the gun from the house into the barn?
That was his gun.
Was it?
Well, we didn't get that determined, but we kind of hinted at.
He looked down to his side and didn't pull his own.
I was just trying to see if she became so cognizant of that, because they said they hold grudges. So she obviously, when she becomes aware of what's happening, holds a grudge against the man in the black, as well as that guy who shoots her, because she kind of remembers him. So it's a whole big thing that they're talking about. Walter was holding a grudge to the hosts that killed him in the past, because for some reason his memory was able to access people who killed him. And that was via maybe Arnold, because he was talking to Arnold as well. Maybe Arnold is, for example, in the system doing what you're thinking. Maybe Arnold is the man in black and he didn't actually die, which would be interesting. But I don't think it is. I think, it could be just a virus activating, or not a virus, just a glitch in the system via an update that he had saved until maybe a certain, certain day was hit or something. And then it pushed the update and allowed him to speak to these people, which is starting to break all of them, as we see, the den. I forgot the name of the mother who owns the saloon, the prostitute mother.
Marigold, I'm pretty sure.
I think you might be right. Her
Marigold or
I don't know names or faces.
Her, Walter, the Axeman, and the dad, as well as Dolores, are the 5 cognizant, people, or sorry, hosts that are kind of knowing what's going on. We're getting flashes of things.
There is one other thing I want to say. Do you actually? Do you mind if I pull out a calculator real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
So the man in black, if he's not
30 years,
if he's not stuck in there, 30 years is what? 30 times 365, and then there's every 4 years is a leap year.
Yeah.
So there's 7.
Isn't it 364 and 365?
So
it's not 366 on a leap year.
It is. So
yeah,
I don't know.
So add 7 more, great, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 instances of 7 instances of 4 that go into 30.
How much money he spends?
I think he
comes on vacation. He doesn't stay.
I don't think they're charging him.
I don't think he stays.
Okay, let's say, because he said he's coming there. I'm just curious, and it's 40K a day. Yeah. So if he was there every day for 30 years, he has spent $438 million.
Wait. So what if he? I mean, I imagine even if he just goes for a week. So that's 1 week, 7 days times 30 years. So it's like 2,100 days alone if he didn't go every single day.
Yeah.
And 2,100 times 40,000. He that's $80 million.
I think it's
not
crazy.
too much better, but
They established hard numbers now, and it's like now insane to think about the people.
I don't think he's paying every day because they saw him in the one scene and they're like, "Oh no, don't leave him."
Oh
alone.
yeah, leave him alone. They
So,
so
like,
that gentleman gets whatever he wants. That's what they said.
He's like he's got to be an investor.
Yeah.
Like he has to.
That's fair.
I agree.
But then what's
It's
this
just-
labyrinth?
But it's
mystery?
also just funny to think about, like,
Dude,
30 years. He broke
I mean, I guess if you're
$438 million.
I guess if you're a 30-year loyalty member there, they will also let you do whatever.
That's true. If he's just maybe he's just paid that.
They're like, he's coming back. Make him another one.
Dude's dropped $500 million.
I want to know
bought all them yachts.
Something I'm looking forward to seeing. I want to know what his conversation with Dolores was in the barn, because we
Do you
got
think
two
he does-
flashes of it where he was like, "Let's start from the beginning. Let's reacquaint ourselves, Dolores, the Man in Black."
No, I know the scene you're talking about.
Yeah.
You think it wasn't what was implied?
Well, he said like
He threw her into a hay pile in the barn that every other character that's walked into that barn has
yeah,
had
but
one
he
goal.
like took out. The
I'm asking, like, do you think that it's deeper?
I think that it's deeper because he like.
He doesn't give off the vibe that that's what he would do.
Well, I should say it this way. He seems like he has a goal that he's chasing,
Right.
which we see. He has a goal that he's chasing. I feel like if he's been coming for 30 years, like he said, and he's done this before because he said Dolores, and they like, I feel like they talk about the fantasies. Like when Ford was talking to Teddy, he was like, "Yeah, you're supposed to die so that they can have their way with Dolores." I feel like that would almost be like a waste of time for the Man in Black. Like he's not seeking like the pleasure of what everybody else can get when they're here. Like he has a very specific goal. It seems like that would just be like a waste of time.
He's been coming here for 30 years.
But it just seems like it's a waste of, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It seems like
he knows Dolores is the first one.
Yeah. I'm saying I think he
Let's
wants her
start
to
from the beginning.
I think he wants to tell him a story, like so he can know everything that's been here and figure out what the
Keep cooking, Mikey.
So he's the first one. You just made me think. He's the first one. Not the first one. She's the first one.
Yeah.
He's been coming here for 30 years, so he knows all of her storylines, which is why he's trying to get her to start from the beginning. Maybe he knows she's something special. Maybe he, knows something from Arnold or being a member of the, shareholder. So he knows maybe she knows where the maze is, and that's why he keeps trying to question her. That's my theory. Besides that, why did she have clothes on during the interviews when nobody else does?
We just went
because she was
she's human.
Yeah,
she's
Bernard
human.
was humanizing.
So that's okay. So that's good. That's why. Okay. I like the new storyline too with this Wyatt villain. It's pretty crazy with the world on fire and a war. I want to know what the fuck is happening though. Like, are they just because they didn't get killed when he shot them?
He also said the way that they described Wyatt is that someone who it almost is like parallel to Arnold, where Arnold wanted to find the consciousness, but Wyatt hears the consciousness of Arnold or whatever Arnold's supposed to be telling him, even if that was programmed, and then goes out and does that storyline. Very interesting.
Final thing too to bring up.
What if Ford died and this is Arnold?
Crazy.
I don't think M. Night Shyamalan directed this.
So I like the quote too that was some hands weren't made to pull triggers, so it means some of these robots weren't made to kill, but that makes it even more predictable when Arnold's speech kicks in what they're actually going to do, because you may think the Dolores model can't pick up a gun and pull the trigger, and so you turn your back on it and then it kills you because it learns sentience.
And he's like, command control override, kill command.
Reset.
Dude, but the bot and the woodcutter just didn't get affected by the commands. How crazy is that? All the other bots get.
Why?
Is it all the other bots are subjected to it?
Arnold override. And I like was it you who said that he might steal the remote, or was that you?
I said that
They steal the iPad that she was going to flip it.
That was a really good.
She did drop it,
but that didn't happen. But if that happened, that would be crazy. Maybe that'll happen at some point, and Dolores will get in control of everybody, and therefore she can control their sentience.
Judas cow.
Yeah, the Judas cow coming back.
Hey, look, the thing that was mentioned previously.
Yeah.
Besides that, I think
Montana's crazy.
My one question for you guys before we finish and wrap up is: do you think any of the people that we've seen and interacted with outside that work for the laboratory lab, the Westworld itself, do you think any of those are actually hosts?
So I thought that. I was thinking that, but I don't think so.
The only one I would say is I think is a host is potentially the corporate woman who,
The one that
She like hates them.
The
though.
one
she
with-
like hates this place.
That's why it's such a good reason for her to be one.
you watch too much Battlestar. No one's tie. Calm down.
She like she seems like she really hates it. I really want to. You know who I want to see more of? Longfellow.
Dude, I hope he dies in the uprising first.
Somebody uses a speech, but instead of the speech, they kill him instead. He's like, my speech. All right. And we're good? Ready to go for the next one?
I mean, the mystery keeps unfolding.
Yes, I agree. Now, thank you for joining us. I'm Mikey.
I'm Beef.
And I'm Mike.
And we are the 732 Review Crew. Make sure you do check out our Patreon as we journey through Westworld. It's been a great ride so far. The full lengths are a lot of fun. Make sure you check it out. And the support does go a long way. If you're new here, say hi in the comments. Let us know if you're enjoying this. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Otherwise, we're going to be checking out right now. And we will see you next time for episode 4. Bye.
Toodaloo.
There.